What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and we're going to be showing you today how you can make your first $2,000 dropshipping. Now, we've been sharing a lot of videos on how we've been able to do other types of businesses. You can check out all the other videos, talk about how we made money. How we did document it live, how we made money with selling digital product. We made $20K in January from just digital product. Probably $300,000 in the life, about a year of dropshipping from just emails. But today I'll show you how you, as a beginner dropshipper, your first time doing dropshipping, how you can do that for yourself.
And we're going to show you how you can do this for absolutely free, because unlike most of these gurus here who probably had maybe a good paying job or they had maybe some kind of parental help, we came straight up with $0 in our bank account. We also had only one phone between both of us, so we're sharing the phone to be able to use to do our drop shipping. So we're going to show you how you can start doing this for free, because anytime they said that we couldn't host, in fact, a lot of the people that were telling back then, like, I don't want to mention their names, but they're actually big guys that we were in their communities that would talk about how we don't have ad money, or don't tell us to go get a job. I'm like, nigga, first of all, there was no job for a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old kid. Let's start off there. And we just knew that there's always a free way to be able to do everything, even though it means that I'm going to put in more effort. But we just knew that there's a free way, and that's what we're going to be sharing today.
So we were able to scale our dropshipping store mostly because we had a little bit of education on basically making money without any ads. And I've seen that a lot of people that teach dropshipping, especially here on YouTube, they're always talking. People who teach dropshipping here on YouTube, they're always talking about spending money on ads, dropping this amount of money on ads, but not everybody is in a convenient step. I mean, you could have, like, let's say 5K in the bank. My nose is itchy. You can have like 5K in the bank, but that doesn't mean that you can spend that amount on adverts. You spend that on a gamble, because let's be honest, this game of dropshipping is almost like a gamble. You don't know what is going to click. You don't know if that product, the right ad strategy that you've chosen, is going to work. You can't be out here betting your life savings on a dream or the dreams of a product launching, which is why we just started selling the products. We started selling the dream of the product before even running the ads. So we already have people who will be ready to buy from us, upon our launch dates.
So when you want to start doing this kind of dropshipping, it's obviously going to require you to spend more hours than the regular guy who has money to spend, because that's the principle of making money. There has to be some equity that you're going to put down. If you don't have monetary capital and you don't have people capital, you need your own sweat capital. So whatever $500 can do, you need to equate that into hours that you spend on this. So it could either be, send messages. I don't want to go into all that, just as going to talk about that. But you need to understand that you're going to put in the same equivalent amount of effort that money would pay for, but you are going to be putting those effort into getting those results.
Exactly. So let's just go straight into it on how you can actually do this. You started from zero. You don't have any single leverage when it comes to monetary resources to basically scale your store. The first thing you need to do is master organic traffic. Now, I'm not going to tell you to master organic traffic without actually showing you how you can actually do that. The first thing is you have TikTok, you have Instagram, and you have Twitter. Now, you need to know where your competitors are in all those spaces. Find out who your competitors are. Check out what their customers are saying. Are their customers not getting their item? Are your customers happy about the product? What's the price point that these guys are using? Now, you find your own leverage. This is how every great business has been built. Look, the owners of Coke knew Coke was so successful that they just created a dumbed down version of Coke called Pepsi, because they knew the market, and they knew that they became their own competition. There's so many products that you guys are selling that don't even have competition. Only one store is basically taking all the monopoly. We should start treating this as an actual business. Only one store has the monopoly in the industry. You can come now and offer a better service. Now, what can you do to actually offer a better product? So you could make your product a lot cheaper. You can make your delivery a lot faster. You can have a better customer service experience. When we first started out, what you can do is message these people directly. Now, you message these guys directly, You strike a conversation with them and you know what they are looking for. I'll give you a perfect example of this. Let's say, for example, you set up your Instagram account. It doesn't have to be an authentic Instagram. You could buy an Instagram account or set up one, just bought it with like 10K followers or about 20, 50K followers, however amount. You can go to a site called z2u.com and buy your Instagram accounts. And from buying those Instagram accounts, you can then buy your followers from Just Another Panel. That's the website name, justanotherpanel.com. You can buy your followers on there. You bought your followers, you bought your Instagram account. Now you have a legit looking store. You can take it the extra mile and get it verified. Now you look very authentic. If you go into their DMs, the chance of them opening your DMs a lot higher. Now you are selling direct to customer. You're not trying to pay people. You're not reaching out to influencers to promote your product. You're reaching out to the customers to buy your product. Now you tell them in those same copy, hey, we're a new we're a new store. We sell sport gadgets. We sell tech gadgets. We sell watches, or we're a clothing brand. Here's our store. We saw your page on the comment section of these guys. Would love you to check us out. We have a 50% or 30% discount running. Check us out. I'll be dropped to follow, by the way. That type of comment, that type of copy. It works. If I tell you that there are days that we would decide to just shoot about 50 DMs every single day. Now, Instagram has changed since we started. So if you do 50 DMs a day, you could get banned depending on how you set up your Instagram account. But what? 10 DMs a day, that's fine. You can do that. You could also do the comments. You could have a separate Finsta account for your business. So let's say it's an account that has like 100, 500 followers. And then in the bio, you have the ads of your main Shopify store, your main store, the Instagram page. You have the ads in the bio. Now, from that, people know that you are a second page or a backup account. You can use that to do the outreach, to do the DMs. It will be very, very, very better and safer for you if you could use it on a browser, or you could use it on a separate device than where your main Instagram account is going to be on. If you don't have the resource or you don't have two mobile phones, fine, you can have it on the same phone. If you use like a Samsung or an Android, there are ways you can duplicate apps. You can just check it out on YouTube. You can do that instead than having everything on one log of one Instagram profile. So you have your Instagram account ready, you have your followers, and you bring your outreach, your DMs, take it the extra mile. Now you can get people to start promoting your business for free. As we're saying DMs to people who are potentially going to be customers, send DMs to people who could become affiliates to your business. Yeah. Now then on top of that.
So the next set of people are the affiliates. Now the affiliates that you'll be getting there are two types of these affiliates. There are the paid ones, but we're not going to go into that today. These guys are the free affiliates. Now, these guys are already interested, not in your business, but they're interested in the niche. So let's say, I think I mentioned this in a previous video. Let's say you're in the pet industry, or let's say you're, like Joseph said, you're in the sports section. If you're in those kind of categories, what you can do is get those people who are already interested in the niche itself to start promoting your business, even before a launch or even after. It doesn't matter when, but the strategy that we use is prior to you opening your business, you already set all these guys in place. Now, you have to incentivize them. No one's going to put your store, if they think it's a scam, on their socials or tell their family and friends about it. So what you have to do is create a safe environment. Let your Instagram look very authentic. You need to have reviews on there. Now, your reviews is up to you to allow customers to be there, or you could vouch for your delivery of your product. You can vouch that since you know that you're not going to scam these people, you could already just show how you expect the experience to be for them, and just type it out in between a conversation with yourself, and then post that as a customer feedback, because you are the first customer of your business. Believe it or not, you're the first customer, so you need to show how exactly you're going to be serving them through those reviews. So post those reviews, a bunch of them. Make sure you post reviews on your stories every single day. So every day people are seeing those reviews, and these guys can actually trust to put you on their stories. So once you've gotten that kind of trust from them, the next thing is another incentive for them to be committed to this project of yours. The next thing that you want to do is to have them, maybe you could do a monetary giveaway, or you can give them a product that they like. You could tell them that within a certain price range, or if you still don't have any money for any of that, you could just give them a commission from whatever it is that they bring. So we did this a lot in 2020, 2021, even 2022. So we got a lot of these guys that they didn't have any big fan base whatsoever, but they posted about their pets, they posted about their gym life and all that, and that they have similar people. Now, the difference between them and a big influencer is that the level of connection is very different. The level of connection is that you have someone with 500 followers on Instagram who's in the same niche as you, but in those 500, there's about 200 intimate followers, which means these 200 people will literally bleed for this person and they will do whatever this person says. So that's the difference. Now, if he posts or she posts on their story or in their feed about the 15% discount that they have whenever you have a sale, they make, let's say the product is $200, they're going to be making about $25-ish or $30 from it. I think they have just 10 of that, they're making $300 maybe every week or every month. So you've already incentivized them to be able to push your business without you doing any work. I didn't spend a single dollar. So that's how you use these affiliates. Now, the platform to use when it comes to setting up the affiliate commission, you're probably asking, if you are on Shopify, just search affiliates and you'll see affiliate marketing. Just search it up in your app section, or in WooCommerce, just search in the plugin section and you see the app pop up to show you how to use commissions on the store.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, you guys should really take notes, because this is not like the last video where we had a whiteboard that we explained everything. We'll probably get that the next video, but this one, we're just really just bringing out raw ideas that we had, and also raw things that we have from our memory on the things that we've done. So it probably had to structure this into a proper course or something that'll be available on YouTube. You guys can watch it. Also, guys, if you want to join our free Telegram community, you can check it out down below in the description. Now, if you also want to work with us one-on-one, we can book your consultation all down below. If you have a store and you'd like us to take a look, see some professional advice on whether your store is doing good, or you're about to launch your store, if everything is set up properly, you can book a consultation call. I'm more than happy to help you with that. Now, you have your store ready, you have your affiliates, you're going berserk. Now you need a proper email list. Now, make sure all these people that are buying into your store, make sure you're storing them into a newsletter. As soon as people pop into your Shopify store, make sure that they have a newsletter that pops up, that they get the latest coupons, the latest whatever incentive that you could use. You know, the latest coupon codes, whatever. I don't know what you want to use, or maybe it's a giveaway you want to put, have their emails on there. And basically, once you have their emails, you could sell them for life. The moment that we realized that the emails was what we were missing out, we have people that were just buying from our store, and we were always focusing on getting new customers. Now, because of email marketing, we were able to also retain people who probably stepped into the store, but they forgot to buy. People who came into the store, but they left at checkout, they didn't complete their order. We were able to send retargeted emails at those same people, offering them a coupon, offering them a discount, offering them an extra item if they can complete that purchase. Now, just us doing that and sending them those reminders, it's basically doubled our income. And I think it was Scott Hill say that talked about it. If you've been in the dropshipping game for like a while, you should know what Scott Hill say. It's not really as big as he used to be, but he's the one who really gave us that email of sequencing. Now, you should also have emails to go out when people leave at checkout, when people do not process the payment. So these guys have already kept the cards in, but they didn't finish the transactions. You have emails for that. People who checked out a product, but they did not finish, they didn't even hit the checkout button or add everything to the cart. People who have items in their cart and they still added this into their cart, but they haven't finished the purchase. You should also have email sequences going out for those people. You should have email sequences going out for people who have bought your product, so then you can upsell them. Within your store, You should have an upsell system, a downsell system. I think there's another one, but I don't know what it is. So I'll present what I know. But I know that you should have an upsell system where people buy a product that's for $5. You can upsell them a product that's like $15, $20 that can complement that item that they bought. You can also downsell them where these people came to buy X amount of X item. You downsell them on a cheaper item that can use to complement the item that they bought. Now, these are the little things that really make a whole world of difference on your store or your dropshipping business, because a lot of people, you can drive traffic. I can tell you what you can do right now to have 300 visitors in your store. It's as simple as running Snapchat ads. Now, the question is this: is your store optimized enough to those people who have, taken time out of their day to come into your store? Can you convert those people? Can you retain those people? And if they leave, are you going to call them back? So that's we can run Snapchat ads, something as basically freaking steroids on ads, because it's a large pool. They're not as conservative as Facebook is in who sees them, but also you would also run the risk of just having a lot of bots in your score. So yeah.
Yeah. And then, for the last one, the last thing is basically cross-platform spam. And the next thing is cross-platform spam. Jess, I'm the only one here. Just have had a couple of business stuff to attend to. So the next thing is cross-platform. Now, what is this? What is cross-platform spam? It's probably the first time you've heard this. Now, what we did, because we're trying to minimize our expenses. In fact, we're not even trying to spend anything at all. So what we did was to keep ourselves on multiple platforms without having to spend money on ads on these platforms. So the first one that we utilized was Reddit. Then we also use Quora. We also use Twitter as well. I'm not sure if that was the last one. Also, we also used Facebook as well. Now, what we did was each of these platforms are places that they always have forums and they have groups. So for Reddit, they have subreddits. For Quora, they have forums. What's the name again? For Twitter, they have groups as well. I think it's groups or retweets groups, something like that. So what we did was these groups are already tailored to what we want. So they're already tailored to a specific niche. It could be the sports niche. It could be basketball. It could be athleisure or athleticism. It could be freaking pets. It could be dogs. It could be veterans. So it depends on what kind of product or niche or the brand that you're currently running. It depends completely. So the next thing is to get yourself, if you can do it yourself, you should. But if you can't do it yourself, you can get someone off of Fiverr to do this work for you. We personally don't. We have a method. The African and the Indian method is what we use. So we're able to get these people for cheap. We could pay them for this specific tax. Let's say in a month, you could give them an equivalent of $20, or you give them an equivalent of $30, and they do all these tax for you all week round for the space of a month. So you could do that. The next thing that you can do is either do it yourself. So you're going to go to different groups that are in your niche. Give yourself a target. If it's Reddit, the subreddits, you want to make sure you're posting or commenting on other people's comments that are in the niche, talking about your brand. You're not going to talk about your brand like it's an essay. You're going to talk about your brand like you're a customer giving a review. You're talking about it like you're a customer giving a review, and it's pointing them to the best store that they've ever bought from. You could also disparage your competitors while doing so. All right. So you talk about how you've experienced the customer service of your competitors. Again, you're not going to use your store names. You're going to use a random name of a real person, boy or girl, doesn't matter. Try use a young girl. So maybe like it's a male dominated kind of fan base. For us, it was a male-dominated family, so we use a girl's picture. So guys want to kind of impress her, I guess. But that out the way, you basically try to talk about how you experienced. Let's say your competitor was plasticcups.com. You talk about how the customer service was so bad, how the item came so late, and then it was already open or scratched or destroyed that you had to return it, and they didn't give you a refund. So, but you still needed it, and then you went to your brand, and your brand gave them the best service that they've ever experienced while being in this niche. So that's the best thing you could do. So you're going to give yourself a lot of credibility in the niche itself, if you understand what I'm saying. Because what are these niches? These niches are basically just a group of people who like it. And now, when you go as a customer, as a peer, they're ready to listen to you a lot more than if you went in as yourself, the brand. So that's how you do cross-platform spamming. And then you just keep on doing that. So you need a very high number for this to become something that prints you thousands of dollars. But since you're trying to make your first $2,000 to $3,000 every single day, you're going to send about 30 per platform. So if I mentioned about 3 platforms, I mentioned Reddit, Quora, and Twitter, and also Facebook, so 4. So if you're doing 4 platforms and 30 spams for each platform, that's about 120 unique messages sent every single day for these platforms. Over the course of a month, you're going to be doing about, I think, 400 or so connection with these people. Now, depending on the price of your products, it will be very profitable at some point. So let's say your product costs about $100 or it costs $50, and you get just 5 or 10 people from this. You've already made $500 to $1,000 already, all the way to your goal, just from cross-platform spamming. So I think that covers it. Again, these are practical steps. This is exactly what we did to make our first $1,000 to $5,000 in a single month dropshipping. And you can do this as well. It's free. The only thing you need to do is actually not bullshit yourself. The only thing you need to do is not lie to yourself that you're working, trying to be a fake entrepreneur. If you cannot do let me just give you this advice, play. If you cannot do any of the work, then you can't win. There's no point running ads. There's no point getting employees. There's no point getting freaking virtual assistants to do anything for you if you cannot do it yourself. And that's the truth. There's no growth in what you're doing if you can't do it yourself and improve in that thing. You need to improve your marketing. How do you want to improve your marketing when you can't even spend money on ads at this point? You need to put in the sweat equity. All right. So that's the end of the video. If you guys want to talk to us and get to see our detailed explanation for this, not just our detailed explanation, but to get our complete guide, link in the description to join our private Telegram group. Also, there's a link in the description to book a one-on-one call with us and start making these gains. You can see either me or Joseph or both of us if you're lucky enough to hop on the call with you, and see you guys in the next video. I hope this video is of value to you so you can start making this bread. So good luck and congratulations on your first $2,000 drop.